In the Mel Brooks film, The Producers, it's the story of a scam. The producers set out to produce the worst musical imaginable as a way to defraud investors of their money. They're trying to manipulate the audience for a certain outcome, but their plans are foiled when the audience loves it and the musical is an incredible success. Welcome to Conservative Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. Each week at Conservative Coffee Hour, we take a look at a candidate, a topic, or issue, and try to figure out how we can navigate our way out of this incredible political mess we're all in. Last week, we had candidate Kathy Salvi, who's running for US Senate against Tammy Duckworth in the November election. It was, I think it's safe to say, it was more telling what Kathy didn't say than what she did say on the Saturday call. Kathy shared her family history growing up in a strong conservative family in McHenry County. She evoked the name of Barry Goldwater. And she said she was so proud to be from the state of Illinois, where both Abraham Lincoln and Ronald Reagan originated from. Kathy said that on the campaign trail, she's often challenged and confronted by one of two questions. Are you a Trump person? And can you assure us you're not a Trump person? Kathy explained to us, and rightfully so, that's a challenging spot to be in, especially when you're trying to win over voters. I think many people on the call, safe to say, are probably in the Trump camp, and they were disappointed that Kathy didn't identify herself as such. I think that we could suggest to Kathy that perhaps she could have evoked the phrase America First or Making America Great, or even the image of the American flag to symbolize or fill in for the word that she found herself unable to evoke on the call and on the campaign trail. And I think it's a cautionary tale for Kathy and for all of us. We all need to be mindful of our part in that scenario where we have an expectation that is often not met, and that's a deal breaker, and in a way allows ourselves to be played as part of the scam. Devin Jones on the call on Saturday also brought the topic of infiltration, and he gave examples of the civil rights movement that started out as something very good and ended up something different. I think we can also look to the Tea Party that originated as something and ended up, as I understand it, as primarily a fundraising vehicle in our time. And more recently, the Black Lives Matter, which Devin suggested, also started out as a good message that got subverted by government agencies and non-for-profits as a vehicle for something else. I was intrigued with Marianne Williamson, candidate Marianne Williamson, in the 2016 presidential debates for the Democratic nomination for president. And Marianne was pressed about the lack of experience she had in political office. And Marianne said, well, the incredible mess that we're in has been created by people from the political class. And because of this, it's unlikely and illogical and irrational to expect that we can elect somebody from the political class to get us out of this incredible ditch. They also asked all the candidates at the time what they thought was the greatest threat facing this country. And Marianne, without hesitation, said that the greatest threat facing this nation is spiritual crisis. And lastly, they pressed Marianne about her lack of experience working with people on the world stage. And Marianne countered with the fact that in her entire career working as a spiritual director, she has come face to face with many, many psychopaths. And that because of this, she would have no problem dealing with many of the psychopaths on the world stage today. I thought at the time that was sort of shocking observations, but now I can see pretty much that in many ways, Marianne was defining exactly where we were and where we were going. Lily Tomlin joked in the 1970s about how 97% of the people in the world are kind, loving people. And The other 3% are psychopaths who we elect to political office. It might seem a little extreme to describe anybody as a psychopath, but when you look into the definition of that, it's very similar to the producers. It's people who simply want to use other people for a particular outcome. As we continue to navigate this very strange and dangerous time, I think we do need to look for alternative symbols and ways to communicate with each other. One of our participants mentioned that whenever they're driving around town or around the suburbs, whenever they see the American flag, they strongly suspect that that is America First person, a Trump person, or a Make America Great Again person. And if that's the case, well, we want to be in on that. I did mention to Kathy after our call that in the history of the Christian church, early on, it was dangerous to say you're a Christian, and wearing a sign of a cross might get you killed. But at that time, people just drew the sign of the fish in the sand to represent to others who they were and to identify themselves. And they erased that sign. And in our time, in our dangerous time, maybe it's the American flag. I did suggest to Kathy that she evoke the American flag, carry the American flag, and always have an American flag nearby. Whatever we need to do individually, we need to do that. And whatever we have to share, we can do so on a Saturday morning call. If you would like an invitation to Conservative Coffee Hour is every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. I will include my email in the description of this video, and I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.